Chapter 8 Functions in MS Excel. Hi guys! I hope that you are interested in MS Excel, the different possibilities in spreadsheet management, and its easiness in doing our calculations. Now, let's have a detailed discussion about functions in MS Excel. It is used to easy way to calculation. Talking about the objectives of this lesson, they are getting familiarized with functions, uses of function, and some function wizards. Argument. What is an argument? Argument contains the information you need to calculate according to a formula. The values inside the bracket in a formula are called argument. It can be numbers, text, logical values, and array or cell references. Argument can also be constant formula or other functions. Arguments can be 1. Constants as argument. Values used by functions are entered directly. Example is equal to sum 23, 45, 70 returns 138. 2. Cell or ranges as argument. The values used by functions are already contained in cells or ranges of this worksheet or will be entered there later. Example is equal to sum B3 colon B15 returns the sum of values in the range B3 to B15. 3. Functions as arguments. Functions themselves can also be entered as arguments which provide values for the original function. Example is equal to sum 24 sum 46 returns 16. Syntax of function. A valid function should be in sequential order. A set of rules for doing something in an orderly manner is called syntax. Syntax is equal to function name arguments. Example is equal to sum number 1, number 2, number n. There are various categories for functions. Let's discuss some of them. Mathematical, statistical, date and time, logical, text. Mathematical function sum or product or power or fact or square root. 1. Sum. This function adds all the numbers in the specified range or cells. Syntax is equal to sum number 1, number 2. 2. Product. This function multiplies the number in the specified range or cells. Syntax is equal to product number 1, number 2. 3. Power. This function returns the result of a number raised to a power. Syntax is equal to power number power. 4. Fact. This function is used to find factorial of a number. Syntax is equal to fact number. 5. SQRT. This function helps us to find the square root of a number. Syntax is equal to square root number. Statistical functions. 1. Average. This function is helpful to find average value of specified range or cells. Syntax is equal to average number 1, number 2. 2. Count. This is used to find the number of cells that contain numbers in a specified range or cell. Syntax is equal to count value 1, value 2. 3. Max. This function returns the highest number in the selected range. Syntax is equal to max number 1, number 2. 4. Minimum. This function returns the smallest number in the selected range. Syntax is equal to minimum number 1, number 2. Date and time functions are used to display the date or time in a cell. This can also make some calculations. 1. Today. This function returns the present date on the cell. Syntax is equal to today. Second, weekday. This function returns the number of the weekday 1 for Sunday of the given date string. Syntax is equal to weekday, date string, 3 days 360. This function returns the number of days passed between 2 days. This function can be used to calculate the number of days in between a particular period of time. Syntax is equal to days 360. Starting date string, ending date string. Text functions. 1. Left. It returns the first character or characters in a text string based on the number of characters that you specify. Syntax is equal to left text number of characters. Example is equal to left pen drive semicolon 3 returns pen. 2. Right. It returns the last character or characters in a text string based on the number of characters as specified. Syntax is equal to right text number of characters. Example is equal to right pen drive semicolon 5 returns drive. 3. Mid. It returns a specific number of characters from a text string starting at the position that we specify. Syntax is equal to mid text starting number of characters. Example is equal to mid pen drive semicolon 1 3 returns pen. 4. Lower. It converts all uppercase letters in a text string to its lowercase. Syntax is equal to lower text. Example is equal to lower pen drive returns pen drive. 5. Upper. This function converts all lowercase letters in a text string to uppercase. Syntax is equal to upper text. Example is equal to upper pen drive returns pen drive. 6. Length. This function helps us to find the length of a string. The length of a string means the number of characters in that particular string. Space is also considered as a character. Syntax is equal to len string. Example is equal to len pen drive returns 8. Text functions are briefly mentioned in table given below. Logical functions. 1. AND. This function returns true when all the arguments are true. If one or more arguments are false, then it returns false. Syntax is equal to AND. Logical condition 1, logical condition 2, logical condition n. Example is equal to AND. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. 2 plus 4 is equal to 7. Returns false. 2. OR. This function returns true when any argument is true. If all arguments are false, then it returns false. Syntax is equal to OR. Logical 1, logical 2, logical 3. Example is equal to OR. 1 plus 1 is equal to 1. 2 plus 2 is equal to 5. Returns false. Is equal to OR. 8 into 2 is greater than 10. 7 less than 3 returns true. 3. Not. This returns true when the argument is false. If the argument is true, then it returns false. Syntax is equal to not logical test. Example is equal to not 5 greater than 2 returns false. 4. If. The if function is one of the most popular and useful function in Excel. If the condition is true, the value if true is returned. Otherwise, value if false is returned. Logical text means any value or expression that can be evaluated to true or false. Syntax is equal to if. Logical text, value if true, value if false. Example is equal to if C40 greater than is equal to 210. Passed semicolon failed. Combination of if and functions. You can combine the if function with AND function to perform calculation based on multiple criteria. Nested if statement. Nested if is an if statement that can be placed within about if statement. You can use nested if condition to check more than one condition. 5. Sum if. If you want, you can apply the criteria to one range and sum the corresponding value in a different range. The main advantage of this function is it can add the number that meet the given condition, or you can make the sum range of cells or a column with respect to the data in another column. 6. Count if. This function counts the number of cells within a range that meet a given condition. Syntax is equal to count if range criteria. The following function is used to check number of students hearing marked above 160. Function wizard. It can be directly entered into a cell following the syntax, and they can also be built using the function wizard. The function wizard can be used to select the function, assemble the argument correctly. Steps for using function wizard. Follow these steps to get function wizard. Select a cell and click Insert Function option in Functions Library group on Formula tab, or click Insert Function on left of the formula bar. Then Insert Function window will appear on the screen. Search the function by typing search key on Search for a function box. Select the function from Select a Function field. Click on the OK button. Then Function Argument window appears on the screen. Enter cell range in the number 1 field. Click on OK button. Now the formula will get applied to the selected cell. By this, we are coming to the end of this lesson. I hope that on constant practice in these lessons, you can manage a lot of things in your daily life, especially things related to your study. Do more and learn while doing. I wish everybody for a nice computing in your later days. Thank you. Goodbye.